Well, I'm snowed in OKC, so I decided to spend the day in bed. But I wanted to work on some videos too, so I'm going to do both at the same time. But I wanted to talk more about the Jack Smith testimony because I finally finished watching the entire hearing, and I still think that every American should do that. I don't know a whole lot about the way our government works. So as I'm watching the hearing, even though I've seen them before, they're, doing things like objection and like unanimous consent. And, there's all these terms and the way that they're going about things that I don't really understand. So what I do in those instances is I use the internet. We have information now at our fingertips. We don't have to go back and look in an encyclopedia to see what happened. We can't do that any longer. But we do have information at our fingertips. And I try and approach these things like I want to be an informed person. I want to be an informed American. I want to know what's going on. And when I don't know what's going on, the best way to figure it out is to go do my own research. I mean, we should be learning things all the time anyway. So some of the things that I noticed throughout the presentation or the testimony by Jack Smith, Republicans are just, their whole aim to have this public hearing is to be able to extract sound bites at the end. And their whole demeanor and tactic in this hearing, it's attacking. It's, they're trying to be, I can't believe, I can't tell you how many of them use the phrase, well, I just find that hard to believe. Well, this is a man who, honestly, go look up Jack Smith. Go see if you can find any scandal or any bad publicity about him that didn't come from Trump or Republicans. He is very well known, very well respected. He was the right person for the job. And they're villainizing him. I mean, history is going to see all of this appropriately. I know enough about the situation to know that Trump lied about the 2020 election. How do I know that? There's an actual phone recording of him calling someone from Georgia and trying to get extra votes. Like they have there's a whole bunch of it. You can go to YouTube right now and look up this information. But the problem that we have is the people who follow Trump are more concerned about the narrative of their party than they are about truth. They just want to win. I want to find the truth. And whatever that is, whoever has fucked up needs to pay the price. And sometimes Democrats fuck up too. And if that's the case, they should have the same rules that apply to Republicans. But Republicans make the rules for everybody else and then they expect themselves to be exempted from it. So one of the things that come up in the hearing was I talked about the phone records because the Republicans in this hearing they're so ridiculous. Oh, these phone records. First of all, in the congressional hearing about this, they address that very early on. They say this is like metadata, it's just phone numbers and times, and like it's still referenced like 4 or 5 times later on. Again, because Republicans are trying to get sound bites, right? They're going to count on the fact that their supporters don't know shit about the phone records. So the other thing that came up is them asking about Kevin McCarthy because he was slated to be Speaker of the House at the time that all of this happened. And, that's a political witch hunt. And it's not a witch hunt. I mean, I know that it can appear that way because they're only subpoenaing the records of Republicans. But I'm sorry. In this situation, if Trump's trying to overturn an election, do you think he's calling Hakeem Jeffries? He's not. But they mentioned how McCarthy should have been tipped off to the fact that this happened. And I don't even know all the legal ins and outs of everything, but somebody made a good point. Do you think that the Department of Justice is going to come let you know that they're investigating you? No, they're not going to do that. That's the whole point. And it's not something that should have happened anyway. So I don't know what they're up in arms about over this, other than they just want to appear so angry. I mean, I really wish everybody would watch it because it's just one after another. And if you watch, I mean, the Democrats are passionate too, but the Republicans are pissed off. And the reason for that is there are a lot of Republicans in that very room who were part of that investigation, like as Smith was checking them out for wrongdoing as well. So the whole idea of this is an absolute circus. And I'm sure I'm going to have more commentary about it. It's like, when I watched it, I come up with all these things, and it's like, I just don't want to shut up about it. So there might be more videos today. If you're interested, then follow me for more.